Good morning! We're here at the Mount Margaret Trailhead, just outside Red Feathers Lakes, Colorado. And it's a beautiful morning. We drove through clouds the entire time from Fort Collins, and then right before we got up here, it cleared up. And Jasper's pulling me. He's ready to hike. I'm not sure what the state of the country is going to be in by the time this video airs. But for right now, there's a toilet paper shortage everywhere but here. You're good to go. You want to come to the Mount Margaret Trailhead, take a dump, we got you covered with the toilet paper. For now. Here at the Mount Margaret Trailhead, and this thing says that it's 3.9 miles to the summit. I didn't think it was that long. I've done a video on this before, and in my video, I say that I got back in about 1 hour and 15 minutes. So I have a hard time believing that that's 3.9 miles. However, that's what it says. Summiting Mount Margaret is a unique experience. From a starting trailhead elevation of 8,093 feet, you lose 136 feet in elevation. So yeah, that's what I like to call a reverse hike. We're going to go down the way to the summit, and then we're going to have to come up the entire way back. It's about 9:25 in the morning, and we're going to begin the hike here on trail number 979. And for the time being, we're the only people out here. The only car in the parking lot. However, I suspect that will change by the end. I'm sure there'll be some people here that show up later. I did not think we were going to have snow. We didn't have snow 95% of the way up here. And then as soon as we got to the trailhead, we got snow. But we're basically going to make our way across this open area here in that direction. The sun just popped out. That's a nice surprise. This part of the hike is really pretty. Let's go, Jasper. Let's go. Making our way through the forested section here. It's really pretty. And this is a pretty mellow hike. Other than the snow making it a little annoying, as you can tell as I slip and slide around. I mean, it's pretty flat, all things considered. There's not a lot of elevation gain at all. We're up here to campsite 4, maybe 2 miles, probably not quite, into the hike. We're going to take a nice little break right here for a second. We just came up from that direction. That's the Mount Margaret Trail number 979, and this is the major trail junction. Got trails going off that way. There's one off to the left, but we want to continue on straight ahead right here on the Mount Margaret Trail number 979. And this is well over halfway. I want to stay on this road 503, also known as Mount Margaret Trail number 979. Normally this is a really pretty pond right here, however there's very little water in it and it's frozen. But for now, we're going to continue on the trail to my right. We're going to kind of just take it around through some trees, and then we'll finally see Mount Margaret off to the right. And we've made it up here to the final trail split. Making really good time. Snow's annoying, but it's not really that big of a deal. We're plowing through it with ease. Yeah, right here. This is going to be the final trail junction. I'm going to stay to the left. I guess there was one more trail split up here, because there's a bunch of loops that branch off, almost like a figure 8. So it really doesn't matter what way you go. It's all going to lead up here eventually. Jasper's going crazy. He wants to get to the summit. And this is going to be our first view of Mount Margaret. It's right there. It's that little pile of rocks just here in the foreground. So basically what we need to do still is hike around to the left behind it and then up to the summit. I ventured off the trail to get that shot of Mount Margaret and came across a bone. But we're going to jump back on the trail, which is right up here, and take it on over behind Mount Margaret and then on up to the summit. That's the summit just directly in front of us, and we're pretty close to the end of the trail. After an hour and 40 minutes of hiking, we're pretty much here to the end of the trail, and that's going to be the summit directly in front of us. And from here on out, we're going to have a mild scramble to get up to the summit. This is actually the fun part. It gets a little weird through here. There's a bunch of different ways you can go. This is definitely a little challenging through here. We're picking our way through these rocks. This is a little more difficult than I remember it being, but that's a good sign. And we're getting pretty close. Jasper is just hopping up these rocks. He's having no problems whatsoever. And that's going to be the true summit right there. I definitely don't want to fall off right here. And we're up here, summit of Mount Margaret. Right, just under 8,000 feet. And look what she's sitting on right now. That just slopes right off into death down there. Sitting up here in our spot. However, it's about 11:30 right now, and Jasper has school at 4 o'clock, so we've got to get going. We got to get back. We just need to start working our way down this section right here. You want to kind of stay to the left. This is definitely tricky up here. No. I mean, you can't get lost or anything, but getting down is actually proving to be harder than getting up. We're not really sure the way we came up. We didn't come down exactly the way we went up, but it still works. We popped out more to the left of this end of the trail sign on the way down. We're still making our way down. We stopped for a quick break, had a guayaki shot, because this is actually much more difficult on the way back. Not only do we have more uphill, but the snow has melted up and it's like walking through a slushy. And then when it's not slushy, it's muddy. So it's just not easy. It's slow moving. It's taken us quite a while. But we're at least back to the gate. I'd say we have maybe 25-30% left. And we're back. Mount Margaret Trailhead. And that took us close to 2 hours to hike back. So I'm thinking it very well could be 3.9 out. It was pretty long, and that was a little more challenging than we thought. But we made it. Hope you enjoyed it. And until the next one, y'all. Peace.